Justin Gaethje can beat Paddy Pimblett. As per all of these types of videos, I'm not saying I'm backing Justin Gaethje here. Every on-paper statistic points to Paddy Pimblett in this matchup. Paddy's younger, in his prime. His jiu-jitsu has always been elite, but now after his fight and beatdown of Michael Chandler, he's also shown some big improvements in his striking as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Justin Gaethje is older, out of his prime. He has clearly stated that this is probably his last fight, and I quote, his last hurrah. And we've seen usually how that goes. It's again, on paper, a bad matchup for Justin Gaethje, and it just makes sense to back the younger, up-and-coming guy over the aging legend. But after watching all of Paddy Pimblett's fights last week, he does have a lot of holes that Justin can expose. So in today's video, let's go over those holes, see how Justin Gaethje can expose them and ruin the UFC and Paddy Pimblett's plans to become UFC champion. Firstly, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and it's how much Paddy gets caught in the pocket. Paddy is pretty good striking wise if he's the one at range, dictating the offense and keeping guys at the end of his strikes. But as soon as he's in the pocket, his chin is wide up in the air and gets caught so much by counters. That's how he got dropped in his debut. That's how Jared Gordon pretty much beat the shit out of him their entire fight, and that's how Justin Gaethje is going to most likely land his biggest shots. Paddy keeps his hands very low in close distances, but unlike other strikers who do this, he doesn't have the striking awareness, head movement, or reaction time to see the counters coming to him at this range. He loves to left hook his way out of here. Like he tried to do in his debut against Vandranamini, he tries this really wide left hook, which takes way too long to get there, and Vandranamini's left hook gets there first, rocking him. And he didn't learn that he was getting exposed by his wide left hook in his second fight as Kazula Vargas closes distance, and when Paddy tries to meet him with a wide left hook, he overswings, giving Vargas the opening for his own lead hook that catches him flush because he keeps that chin so damn high in this range. And Jared Gordon exposed Paddy the entire night with this. Paddy here early in the fight tried to lead with his left hook, but because he's too wide and not fast enough, Gordon's left hook gets there first, seemingly rocks Paddy and sends him to the back foot. And I might sound like a broken record, but again, when Paddy is in the pocket, this guy is a sitting duck after he throws his left hook, like right here where he swings, misses, and Gordon goes over the top with the right hand to punish. I mean, look how wide this guy throws from such close range. Paddy's instinct is always to find a wide hook, but he just doesn't have the speed to land and often doesn't have the reaction time to defend when he's out of position, which leads to getting caught a lot in firefights, which is amazing for Justin Gaethje because this is a range he often thrives at. Imagine Justin gets Paddy in this range, and as he tries to answer Justin's forward pressure with hooks, Justin grabs the back of Paddy's bowl cut and launches a tight uppercut to truly see if Scousers can get knocked out. Justin Gaethje is so good in this range, man. Tight uppercuts, short but powerful hooks, and that like weird tight over the top right hand that he rocks people with are all weapons that are going to get there before Paddy swings and lands one of his big wide hooks. Imagine that over the top right hand after Paddy swings and misses with his left hook. That's devastating. And yeah, Paddy's striking and distance management has been proved, as we've seen from his fight with Michael Chandler and the way he was able to punish the forward pressure of Michael Chandler, but he still gets caught a lot. I think another way he gets caught is his low kick, or after he throws his low kick. Paddy now loves this low kick and is now a weapon he's been using a lot, but it's also an opening as he kicks way too close with the chin, way too high, which was the opening Michael Chandler used to land his biggest punch of the fight. And shit, even an older and out of his prime Tony Ferguson was able to see the clear opening for this over-the-top right hand. I think Paddy just doesn't expect the return from his opponents because maybe he thinks he's at a distance where he can't get hit, but that misunderstanding in distance coupled with his hands always being so low is going to be another big opening for Justin Gaethje because both guys love leg kicks, and we're probably going to see a leg kick battle early from these guys. And in that exchange, I can see Justin breaking the leg kick trade with a giant right hand as Paddy tries to land his low kick. So overall, now that I think about it, Justin Gaethje holds a lot of advantages stylistically in the stand-up and can take advantage of a lot of Paddy's openings. He's very deadly in the pocket up close, especially from what we've seen recently in his Fiziev fights, and Paddy gets rocked a lot when he fights up close. But of course, that's the stand-up. What happens if this fight goes to the ground? That's the question everyone has been asking. Say what you want about Paddy and his skill set, but you can't argue that he doesn't have elite jiu-jitsu. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He's the second best back taker, only behind Charles in this division, and he's always seeking finishes if the fight gets to the ground. Alternatively, we've seen Justin Gaethje, when a belt is on the line, him not being able to keep up with the jiu-jitsu or grappling and getting submitted. So yes, If this fight goes to the ground, that's Paddy all day. But the question is, how is this fight going to the ground? Paddy isn't this offensive wrestler that can bring fighters to his world. Typically, Paddy Pimblett ends up on the ground by letting his opponents essentially initiate the grappling sequences like he does here against Bobby Green, letting him take him down, or he can use judo to take advantage of the forward wrestling pressure that was initiated by Kazula Vargas here. And then finally, he threatened a submission while Jordan Levitt was trying to get his takedown and eventually use this scramble to take back. Shit, he'll even pull guard like right here against Michael Chandler. Sure, he eventually did take Michael Chandler down in this fight, but that was only after he landed this cutting knee and was messing him up in the stand-up. And this was after all of the chaos. Paddy's limited takedown attempts usually get stuffed pretty quickly. And again, he just relies on opponents taking him down and scrambles to take the back. So in what world is Justin Gaethje shooting a takedown? Despite him being a D1 wrestler and technically having a wrestling base, the guy is allergic to takedowns. There's not that many openings for Paddy getting this to the ground. The only way I see this getting to the ground for Paddy is if he rocks Justin and drops him and gets the back similar to a Charles situation, or rocks him and in the chaos of the fight goes for a takedown like he did against Michael Chandler. Basically what I'm saying is that Justin probably doesn't have to worry about a blast double leg coming from Paddy, which I know we said that last time, but still, unless Paddy completely catches Justin Gaethje off guard or all of a sudden he just becomes this Olympic wrestler, I don't think Justin has to worry about it. He can continue to facilitate a close range brawl and capitalize on the striking advantage he has in the pocket. But also on the flip side, in the worst case scenario for Justin, if he does get dropped by Paddy and somehow gets to the ground, he's got to make sure he doesn't get his back taken. Paddy is so good at seeking finishes when he's somehow found a way to get the fight to the ground. And Justin has to really fight to get back up and really fight the submissions, because I don't think there's any way he's out jiu-jitsuing Paddy Pimblett here. So I think the game plan for Justin Gaethje is to close distance with Paddy, not let him throw from distance, keep him to the cage, land bombs up close in the pocket, and facilitate these firefights as Paddy tries to land his wide left hook. And of course, not go for takedowns. It's funny because when I watch Paddy fights, most of his opponents do close distance on Paddy relatively easy, but the problem is they always go for takedowns rather than exploit his lack of striking defense in the pocket. Like right here, imagine if Vargas just kept landing these bombs inside rather than going to the ground with Paddy. Or if Michael Chandler decided to throw bombs here instead of going for the takedown and jumping the back, which led to Paddy taking the momentum back as he would get top position. I would love to see someone, namely Justin Gaethje of course, in this next fight, take Paddy to the cage and just start landing in close and dirty boxing Paddy instead of going for a takedown. If history has shown anything for Paddy, this will be a dangerous range for him, and unless he can somehow pull guard to get this to the ground, he's going to have a long night trying to find any success here. But again, this is how the two stylistically match up on paper. I cannot stress this enough. In actuality, Paddy is riding on a lot of momentum while Justin Gaethje is almost out the door. As we've seen, Justin holds a lot of stylistic advantages, but will he be able to implement it in the face of youth and a ton of volume coming from Paddy in the striking department, and also a Paddy Pimblett that is desperately wanting to get that belt? I don't know. I honestly would lean towards no, but anyways, what do you guys think, of course? This is a very interesting matchup. It sucks that it's for the interim title, but I still do think it's going to be a banger of a fight. Both guys seek finishes. Again, Paddy Pimblett is looking really good in the striking department now, and he's always going to find a finish on the ground. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje has always been the highlight of his career, so it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches this fight, seemingly last fight in his career, and we'll see. I guess we'll see in the next coming days for the first event of the year after 6 weeks, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on the topic, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.